We're going to start tonight with a wild situation in the heart of the capital city, a shooting, chase, and subsequent police shootout with a murder suspect.
Count on 13 News to bring you full team coverage of this incident right here on our broadcast tonight. We're going to begin right here with this video of the chase's end. It was captured by one of our 13 News viewers. This was over at 6th in Kansas this morning near Fidelity Bank. Shots were fired. Then you can see officers, guns drawn there, converging on the suspect vehicle.
And then as we zoom in here, you can see police pulling an individual from that vehicle. Witnesses tell us that person was a man, and there was also a woman in the passenger seat. Authorities say both people were taken to the hospital. One suffered critical injuries and is being guarded by law enforcement. The other is in stable condition.
And Topeka police held a press conference just this afternoon, a couple of hours ago now, over at 6th and Quincy to give us more information about what they know so far about the incident.
That's also where shots were first fired during a chase between the suspect and law enforcement. 13's Victoria Cassell is live there now. Victoria, what are authorities saying?
David and Alyssa, I am live here at 6th and Quincy in downtown Topeka. This is where just a few hours ago authorities held a news conference updating the public about a pursuit today where a Topeka police officer was shot. Topeka Police Chief Brian Wheelis says that injured officer was wearing a bulletproof vest which saved them from serious injury. He says the officer was treated at a local hospital and has been released. Shots first began being fired between the here at 6th and Quincy. In this video, you can see a tire on the suspect's vehicle was blown out in the pursuit before it continued through downtown. While authorities could not comment on how many shots were fired by officers, the chief did give the number of officers and deputies involved in the gunfire.
I can tell you that we have 9 police officers from the police department who are on administrative leave.
And 1 from the sheriff's office.
And just to clarify, those officers and deputy will be placed on paid administrative leave. TPD says it will investigate this morning's homicide, but the KBI will take over the officer-involved shooting investigation. Live here at 6th and Quincy. Back to you all in the studio.
Thank you for that, Victoria. Now we're going to go to 13's Lane Gillespie. He's just a few blocks away where the chase ended in more gunfire.
Lane, what do you know tonight about the damage that was left behind with all of this happening over there today?
David, Alyssa, I am live at 6th and Kansas Avenue where the chase did end. Now the incident did leave some damage, as you just mentioned. First off, when the vehicle that you see on camera right now, when the vehicle crashed, did run into a couple of parked cars. Thankfully, nobody was in their parked cars and nobody was hurt from that. But there was some damage to the townsite tower just right beside it. There was some stray gunfire that did hit a couple of windows, including shattering a glass-made door. There were some eyewitnesses in the tower, and here's what they had to say about what they saw.
I was up on the 16th floor, and we were doing our work, and I heard a whole bunch of sirens, so I got up and I went to go look to see. And I seen the silver car come down Quincy, and it was turning the corner, and then I seen another, the police officer. I seen all the cops coming.
And then we just start hearing gunshots, and then I start seeing bullet holes appearing in the hood of the police car. So then this guy turns and is going this way, and then all the cops start coming, and they start shooting at his car and doing all kind of other stuff. He's returning fire, and I'm just filming. I'm like, what the hell is going on here in Topeka, Kansas? And I mean, it's like a war scene.
This is, of course, a frightening situation here in the capital city. We will keep a close eye on the investigation, and we will give you information as we see it. Live from 6th and Kansas Avenue, this is Lane Gillespie. David, Alyssa, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Lane Gillespie, part of our team coverage tonight. With that in mind, let's go ahead and take a step backward in time to get more perspective on what happened today.
Yeah, 13's Chris Fisher is live in our studio to map out just how much of the capital city was impacted in this pursuit. Chris?
Yeah, Alyssa, from what we can determine, the chase lasted about a half hour or so and only stretched across 8 or so miles from the south side of Topeka, moving north into downtown. We'll start here at our first location towards the south end of the loop. Location number 1. This is the murder location at 3530 Southwest Cary Avenue. Police were called there around 9:32 this morning. We'll have more on that coming up for us in just a few moments. Now, our second location is here in the Highland Crest area. That is when police spotted the suspect vehicle. That was around an hour after the murder was first reported. That was at 10:30 this morning. morning. Our third location of interest. We go up here to I-70 and Adams Street. That is when we heard on the scanner today. Now, police have not confirmed this to us, but we are pretty confident because over the scanner, we heard that police were calling for additional backup here at I-70 and Adams. They distinctly said that around 10:45 this morning. The chase moved up from the south towards Adams, then it went into downtown Topeka. Our fourth spot is here at 10th and Jackson. You see police, you see all this crime scene tape roped off behind. Police did not tell us what happened to this white car, but the trunk is open, the hood is open. We don't know if there's bullet holes or not, but we do know that police were taking a very close look. That was right by the State House at 10th and Jackson. A little bit later, we go to our fifth location. And our final location, this is at 6th and Kansas Avenue, 6th and Quincy. We saw video of this. This is at the Townside Towers where everything ended there. And it's just a few pieces of the puzzle that we have put together based on what officials are telling us and what we've heard while listening to the scanner online. All of our questions about the specifics of the chase and the exact route to TPD have gone unanswered. David?
Good to see that perspective there, though, Chris. Thanks for that part of our coverage. And before the suspect's vehicle was spotted over there in the High Crest area, the investigation began. In fact, earlier this morning when officers responded out to a call regarding a homicide.
Yeah, 13's Jared Broyles takes us to the South Topeka home where that shooting occurred.
This is where it began, in the 3500 block of Southwest Cary Avenue, in a neighborhood tucked behind the intersection of Southwest Topeka Boulevard and Southwest 37th Street. The Topeka Police Department told 13 News that officers responded to a house just after 9:30 a.m. on reports of a shooting. Officers arrived to find one person who would later be pronounced dead at the scene and another who was injured. The second victim was taken to a local hospital by ambulance. TPD says both victims were injured by gunshot wounds. Both were adults, one male, one female. At the start of the investigation, about 8 homes and yards were cordoned off with crime scene tape. Captain Jerry Monosmith told 13 News that the suspect or suspects and victims know one another. Several units at the murder scene left abruptly around 10:45 a.m. Shortly after, scanner traffic indicated a high-speed chase had ensued, and there was a possible shootout with suspects involved in the shooting on Topeka's east side. Jared Broyles, 13 News.
So clearly, folks, a lot of moving parts with this developing story that's been unfolding for the good part of the morning hours, and we're piecing it together for you. And as we get updates in our newsroom, we're going to post those for you online at WIBW.com.